With all the packs in the Crown Shop being half off, there's no better time to buy packs than right now. So today I'm going to break down the best packs to purchase for you depending on what you're trying to achieve, so stay tuned. First pack I would have to recommend is Professor's Horde pack. This provides so much good utility, but it's mainly aimed towards mid to late game players. What do I mean? Well, this is because at different level brackets you get different pieces of gear, and for this one, the gear does matter at all level ranges. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're a low level wizard and you need some gear to really help you quest, this is technically a substitution. A lot of the gear provides universal resist and really good damage to your school depending on which one you get. Also, cosmetically, it's pretty nice. I really do like Dahlia's robe on female wizards, and also Balestorm's hat. I think it's just really cool in general. However, what really makes it stand out is once you hit level 100. This is probably the best level to start buying this pack and getting access to two pieces of gear, Dahlia's hat and Dworgen's hat. The reason why is, well, let's break it down one by one. First, we have Dworgen's hat. This is the one that everyone knows and gets introduced to probably the quickest, and that's because it has mass feint, an AoE feint, and the only downside is you could take a 75% feint yourself on the back. But it doesn't matter because you're going to be using this the turn that you one-shot things anyway with a hammer, so who cares? However, the one that's a little bit more known just for the endgame type of players is that Incendiate hat from Dahlia's hat, which is pretty good. Now, it's a 6-pip spell that has the effect of destroy all overtimes on the opponent and deal damage to it times 200%, which is insane. That's even stronger than a feint, which obviously means that if you buff up a fire wizard, they scold, and then you follow it up with an immediate incendiate, well, that's going to deal a load of damage. And this is how you cheese a lot of endgame bosses as a player using this hat. Now, you may think, oh, it's 6 pips. How do we use that? Well, it's very simple. We use a Decathlon rank 5 or higher deck. Who cares if we don't have a main deck? We're only casting one spell, and that spell is Incendiate. And on top of it, it also has pretty good wands for level 150 if you're doing off-school builds. For example, if you're a Ice Wizard and you want to play as a Storm Wizard, right now they use the Headmaster Staff from here. It gives a bunch of damage to that class, and the most pierce in the game for that class for any weapon that you can use not being that specific class, which is pretty good. So a lot of people are utilizing that to really maximize their stats, so definitely check it out. The second pack I would have to recommend are for those looking for endgame energy gear. As soon as you get to level 150 or above, you can start opening up the Heroes of Lemuria pack. This provides just the best in slot gear for pretty much everything besides the robe, which, don't worry, we'll talk about, is all here in one pack. On top of this, it also provides a stitch that you could use if you like the look of many of the characters from Lemuria, which is pretty nice. And yeah, you really just can't compare any of this gear to anything else. It's either the same or better for pretty much every single slot. The only slot that gets beat is the robe by 4 energy. And sadly, you can't get access to that right now, as that pack is from the Elven Nightmare pack, which only comes around from Halloween. But that's fine, because for now, this is the best in slot until then, and you can pick it up then. But hey, maybe something better comes out. The third pack on this list is actually going to be a brand new pack, which is the Yuletide Elf Pack for 2022. Now, this pack provides the brand new fishing gear, and it's pretty crazy. It can give you the best fishing luck setup in the game, and for players who are lazy like me, it actually can give you a really powerful hat for fishing that pretty much allows you to skip over all the fishing quests that you may just not want to do and just get straight into having double chance at finding chests, which give you a higher chance at finding code wands from Safaria, because that's what most people only use this mechanic for. And, well, you can get that all now through a pack. So that's why I recommend this pack. Just a very quick mention. I had to mention it because if you're lazy like me, this is the pack for you, and you can get right into abusing that double fishing benefit without having to go through all that hassle, saving you time. And again, if you decide to do this later on, energy if you don't do it during a double fishing benefits. But hey, you know what's a really good pack? Subscribing to this YouTube channel. It has a bunch of new content that's going to be coming out very soon, so you don't want to miss it. All you have to do is make sure that red button turns gray by clicking it down below. It only takes 2 seconds, it's absolutely free, and it'll make my day. And while you're down there, you may as well click the like button. Thanks guys, let's jump back into the video. I have to make sure that there's some honorable mentions because there's so many packs to go over, so I had to make sure that this list was very small. The first one would be if you're a struggling wizard who's just not good enough in terms of gear yet to quest through Novus, but you got through Lemuria. Instead of farming the Hall of Heroes, if you really want, you can buy the World Pack for Lemuria. It only drops Merciless gear, which is really good. It definitely will be enough to get you through all the way to the end of Novus. The only downside is that you're spending crowns on gear that you know is going to be irrelevant in probably only a couple of weeks for you. But hey, if it gets you to the end of the finish line, it was worth it at the end of the day. At least that's how I see it, and it's up to you to decide. And to be honest, I would recommend it, mostly when it's half off right now. You'll never get a chance to decide that again. It's now or never. And then we have any of the Spellment packs. If you're trying to get your hands on upgrading specific spells that are key to your PvP strategies, or unlocking some spells that you don't want to craft, this is a great place to do it. I know personally I'm opening up for Krampus Spellments, so that's pretty nice as well. And they're all really solid when they're only 200 crowns a pack, which is really cheap. So while you can farm them, I always see packs as trading time for money, and I don't think this or the world packs are must-buys, which is why I had to only put them in the honorable mentions here, but they're definitely not money sinks. It's really just up to you if you want to spend your time farming for them, or if you want a little bit of help by training money to essentially get more time that you could do other things elsewhere. That's kind of the whole point of those packs. However, probably the most important pack for endgame players, but also really good for any new players, is the Primeval Horde pack. This pack is extremely good, and regardless of where you are in the game, opening it has some merits. First, everyone will want to get their hands on the 3 mounts. Each mount has a set bonus which most players obtain by using the corresponding pet as their base. This set bonus gives extra damage to your class that is way superior than any other mount in the game. The Gulchers are the highest for class-specific damage at 3%, while the minimum for these are 4, with a maximum of 8 damage for the fire class specifically. That's absurd. That's pretty much almost a full piece of gear of additional damage. All you'll have to do is get these mounts and then just use the corresponding pet. And by combining these, you unlock the set bonus. This is the Fossil Avenger set bonus. And it's really free because normally these 2 slots are not very useful. And if you're a new player, you're going to get these mounts anyway. So if you're struggling to quest, this is also a great way to get yourself some early gear that has high DPS. Also, these set bonuses, when combined, mostly at earlier levels, are very high value. There's lots of pip chance, lots of resist, and so much more. So yeah, I mean, it's not even that bad for questing at lower levels, meaning that you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You can get yourself a mount that you're definitely going to use endgame. You can maybe even have a mount if you don't already have one. And you also get some gear that can, when combined together, give you decent questing gear at lower levels. So no matter where you are at the end of the spectrum, you're going to find yourself opening this pack anyway. So you may as well do it now while you have the chance and while it's half off, because they have been dodging giving super packs to this pack for such a long time. So yeah, I don't see them doing it anytime soon. This is probably your best bet at getting these mounts at the cheap. So don't miss out while you can. Definitely go for it. Well, hopefully this helps you figure out what to buy with these amazing deals going on. And if I missed one that you think that I should have recommended, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See y'all next time.